Network.
This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Hello, Tuscaloosa, Internet World, West Alabama. How we doing today on a Friday? It's a Football Friday on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. Hope you guys are having a great day. You're watching us on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, on the BamaCentral Facebook page. You're listening to us on Apple Podcast, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. You can find the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral. We appreciate everybody who subscribes, rates, reviews the program wherever they find it. Got a lot of you guys finding the show for the first time, and we appreciate that, and that makes us very excited. Program is brought to you by Purple Turtle Roofing. You can check out Purple Turtle Roofing at roofturtle.com for all their products and services. Commercial roofing, residential roofing, metal roofing, shingle roofing, it doesn't matter. They can take care of you. They'll come out and give you a free roof inspection and make sure that you've got the peace of mind that you deserve in your home. We're also proudly presented by Derek Daniel, State Farm Insurance. Derek Daniel, like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. You can call and see how much money he can save on your insurance today at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there helping you out with your home, your life, your auto insurance. And I guess he's going to help you out if you need a pump. He moved a bunch of gym equipment into the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. I don't know, Theo, if he was trying to be subliminally send a message that we're out of shape, that we need to get our muscles up, moving some exercise equipment into the studio. But that is what is here now. So after the show, I'm going to be getting my pump on, using the weight rack, and having a great weekend. We're hanging out with you, Theo. You follow him at Theo Fernandez _. Good morning, brother. How we doing?
I'm doing great. And yeah, I think Derek Daniel did just call us lightweights. I think he said we need to hit the gym, which is never a bad thing to do. You know, I'm not complaining about a free gym. The University of Alabama student rec has become borderline unusable at this point in prime time now. It's just more and more students every single year, and it's almost impossible to get the equipment you want. So I'm not complaining, but I'm doing good besides that.
Yeah, I can only imagine what it is at the two. There's two of them now. They put the second one in there like 5 years ago, right? 7 years ago. And I still feel like it's brand new because I'm not a student. But yeah, they got two of them over there. I know what it's like going into Planet Fitness at 4:30 up here in Northport. And it's really not that bad. It's good. But there is, some people in there, which is fine. Everybody trying to get a little healthier. The students, oh my Lord, the student population that generally doesn't have a job, then it just is into, hey, let's go work out, let's study, let's, eat good food. Yeah, I bet you that is packed on. How long are you waiting for equipment in there?
Chest fly machine averages around 13 minutes. I mean, it is, I half the time just lose interest and don't do my chest flies because they only have two in the whole gym. It's rough. That was a good rant that I really needed to get out of my system. So I'm glad we opened the show that way.
Yeah. Anytime you want to come up to Planet Fitness with me, I've got the little second, the +1 membership. So you're welcome to get away from the student life, and be with the adults at Planet Fitness up here in Northport. Oh, Theo, what are we going to do today? It's a Football Friday, so might as well have some fun. We might as well try to have a great time today. We appreciate everybody who's joined us all week long. We've had some new commenters, some favorite commenters, some old friends all over the place on the Facebook machine, on the YouTube machine. Our YouTube comment yesterday that stands out is someone praising East Carolina, saying that East Carolina was going to beat Alabama. Let me pull this up specifically so I credit the person. This is at Keith Killingsworth on the YouTube machine. East Carolina will embarrass Alabama. And then we had a second commenter talking about Reuben Foster endorsing Luke Metz yesterday. So we talked a lot about Luke Metz yesterday. I want to talk about the football games yesterday. We had some FCS action yesterday that made it to my television screen. I want to talk about Josh Ford. We talked to Josh Ford yesterday for the first time, Oklahoma State transfer. I want to, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I want to try to talk about CTE just a little bit. just a little bit with some news that's happened, some pop culture that's happened, and it really entered the Hank Chris indoor facility yesterday as well. So I want to talk about CTE just a little bit. I want to predict the games that are happening in week 0, and I want to spin ahead because look. We have been doing the off-season conversation for months on end, and we need a game very badly in the Alabama circles because the conversation wells are running dry. So let's predict or think about what should we be talking about next week when we talk to Coach DeBoer, when we talk to Coach Womack and Ryan Grubb, when we get another conglomerate of players. What should we be talking about? What should we be asking them about? Overlooking opponents. We've seen Coach DeBoer's tendency over the last 2 years to lose to inferior opponents. Maybe we go with that, or do we go with transferees? Because look, ECU, they've got 10 new starters on the defense and 8 new starters on the offense, and that looks like a very similar recipe to what Florida State was cooking up last year with just the newness, the new factor. How do you embrace or change or learn from what happened last year with what will the conversation, will it all still be about Keelan Russell? Is it all still, because this week's conversation has all been reaction to Keelan Russell being announced the starter. What's he done since he's been the starter? How he's going to be playing? Why did you name him the starter? It was all about Keelan Russell, which appropriately so. What will next week be about is kind of what I want to get into with you, Theo. But first, I really want to complain about last night's football.
Okay, first of all, let me say I did not watch last night. I'm going out for WVUA Football Friday tonight.
Woo, where are you going? Who are you watching?
I think we got West Blockton for, I forget who they play. I've never been. It's the first time at that school. But I'm going out for high school football Saturday. I'm not leaving the TV, so I decided to go be a good roommate, friends, go have a bonfire with, the student population and get all the social stuff out of the way so that we can live in front of the TV the next 2 days.
West Blockton hosting rival Brookwood. So you got a nice little rivalry game, as it looks like that's the first game on West Blockton's schedule. It doesn't look like they played last week. Did Brookwood play last week? And my man Robert from Brookwood calling yesterday. Brookwood
all right. We got
did not
call.
play.
Got that call from Robert. I was informed that I may have been a little wrong on my Hillcrest not running up the score. I was told that Hillcrest went out and attempted an onside kick up by 30 points.
No.
Late in the first half, and that really rubbed people the wrong way.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Now, I don't know. 30 points first half. There's really no reason to do that. I don't think it's something to get offended over.
That's a joke. That's bad.
Yeah. I heard about some, kind of bad blood between Hillcrest and County High, I guess.
Oh, there's always been that.
Over a previous, over the teams not playing a few years ago.
Yeah, it's always been that. It's always been just massive crosstown rivalry, paintball guns, and, minor vandalism. Has always been a favorite. I mean, it's been a heated rivalry for ever since I have been in Tuscaloosa, which at least is 2008, and I would bet going prior to that as well. So it's been a heated rivalry for sure. Man, that's not good.
30 points. Come on.
I played I play in a little dynasty college football with some buddies, and last night I had a user game. So you let me know the sportsmanship of this, Theo. I played against somebody who is not very good, and it's okay. He tries hard. He always plays with a good attitude. Great. And so I knew that, and I knew that it was going to be a Joe Gaither win, and I was kind of just slow playing it. But in the first half, I'm up 21-7, something like that. He punts, fine. Ball bounces back and hits my player. He gets the ball at the 5-yard line, and he scores. Great. All right, it's 14-21. I'm not worried. And basically, I'm angry the rest of the half, and I'm just and I ended up at halftime 42-14 because I was just like, I'm not gonna, because I was taking it easy on the fella because I didn't want him to get upset or mad or discouraged or think I was being a jerk. I wanted to be sportsmanlike. Was I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not good to kick an onside kick up 30 points. I did not do that last night. I did not do that. Jimmy Davis says, welcome, y'all. Roll Tide. We got Rudy back in here today. Rudy the Boxer. Hey, fellas. And Cam Metzger. Joe, we got to run it back. Yes, Cam did get me the last time. We played one time, and Cam beat me. I could not stop Cam Metzger at all. He was just 5 yards, 4 yards, 10 yards, 15 yards, whatever he wanted to do offensively. So we do have to run it back, Cam, for sure.
One final note,
please.
High school, Trent Seaborn, another just absolute performance. Listen to this stat line: 21-25, 274 yards, 4 touchdowns. As Thompson rolls to a 37-13 win over Clay Chalkville.
I thought one of these first 2 weeks for Thompson might have been competitive. Might have been. I mean, and I messed up yesterday with Red Morgan. I forgot. I got him confused with someone else. But Central Phoenix City played Thompson last week, and that's Red Morgan school. Central Phoenix City lost big. Thompson beat them badly. And then again, Thompson beats Clay Chalkville this week. So 2 big-time high school wins for Thompson in state. I think that they are going to be an absolute juggernaut. And
who's beating that team?
Nobody in this state.
Yeah.
Nobody in this state. We'll say that for sure. All right, Theo, I watched football last night, and that's where I want to start because I'm complaining. I want to complain about the ESPN Plus broadcast. You had FCS games last night. So real college football on TV. And ESPNU was not broadcasting it. I don't know what they were broadcasting because I didn't even turn the channel to it because my TV guide did not say college football. Where all the college football lived last night, Theo, was on ESPN Plus. And look, I get it. It's a business. You're trying to drive subscribers. You're trying to raise money. I get it. You put all the football behind the paywall. But you have a channel, ESPNU, that's dedicated to college sports or supposed to be dedicated to college sports. And the FCS plays football last night. And I get it. You got like 20 games or whatever that were across all the ESPN Plus broadcast. You can't pick one of them. You can't pick 2 of them. One at 7 and one at 9. You can't pick one at 6:30 and one at 9, right? To just give the people a little bit of the smack that they've been waiting for. The people who are already paying for cable packages and expanded, sports packages, whatever. No game on ESPN2. No game on ESPN. No game on ESPNU. They were all on the ESPN Plus app. Okay, fine. If you're going to put them on the app, at least make the broadcast watchable. Make them I put on Chattanooga last night, Chattanooga, West Georgia, which was a very odd game. And the picture, I mean, look, this is old man yells at cloud, but the picture is super dark. It's super, like, I'm trying to sit there like, is the brightness up on my TV enough? And all the commentators are just joking just carrying on, joking in the broadcast booth, not really. I don't know. They didn't seem plugged into the game to me, and it's terrible. I don't know. That app is really, really bad because you'll go into a commercial cycle and it'll go into a loop. You got to exit the app. You got to get back into it, and it's just really infuriating. And for so long, I've been of the opinion that it doesn't really matter what college football does. It doesn't really matter what the powers that be do. It doesn't matter if you ask for NIL donations. It doesn't matter if you ask for more donations for your season tickets. It doesn't matter if you need premium television packages to watch different games. The college football fan will still be there. The college football fan needs the college football, right? The junkie needs the fix. We need the college football. I was of that opinion. I am slowly but surely starting to find myself on the other side of, you're pushing me too far. You're pushing the consumer too far. Like, I already have ESPN Plus. It's part of my work package, whatever. It's fine. But not everybody has ESPN Plus. I don't know. I'm just, and especially what we've talked about all week with the NFL and players coming back to school to the NFL and Lane Kiffin trying to snake, lawsuits galore. I'm not out on college football. That's not what I'm saying. But the frustrations are mounting, Theo.
I don't know. You can say all that, but at the end of the day, if I want to watch football, I'm going to watch football. They've got me. Like, their monopoly that they have on me exists. There's nothing they're going to do that will get me to stop watching the product, and they know that. They know that. We'll say that, I think there's some truth to what you're saying, especially specific to college football, right? They're taking a lot of people that I think they're going to turn people away from college football. And at the end of the day, the NFL still exists, right? And they're going to watch the NFL instead. We can have that whole debate. That's an off-season debate, if we're being honest. This was a 2 months ago conversation. Football's here.
My bottom line,
you are
Theo,
going to watch.
ESPN, just do better. If you want to stick it on the app, fine. I've already got the app. I'm already paying for it. Can you give me a broadcast that's worth watching? Can you give me a broadcast that makes me feel like I'm not 10 miles away on top of the stadium?
Hey, this is all student ran here.
Okay, that's fine. But aren't the students smart?
They should be.
Aren't the students? I think the students are perfectly fine. Give them better equipment. Give them equipment that functions.
If you tried to watch Army football in 2022, I was out there working that broadcast as a high schooler because they just couldn't find, cadets who wanted to learn production stuff. This is the first game of the season, right? These media students are getting back into shape. So I think the worst was probably putting a penguin upside down. That was a rough one. I don't know how Youngstown State managed to do that, but just all in all, everyone's kind of getting into the flow of things.
Absolutely. And Cam chiming in, and I believe ESPN knows that too. They know at the end of the day, the sports consumer will pay what they have to watch the games. And that's exactly right. There's only so much pirate ship I can ride watching my Bears. If I've got a chance to watch them, I'll pay a little for it for sure. Sometimes I have done the Sunday ticket thing before. I haven't done it recently, but this past week's preseason game, when I watched Bears-Bengals preseason and it was buffering out continuously, I thought, maybe want to go to get the Sunday ticket package again this year. So we'll see. All right, but football is back, and that's the best thing. Theo, do you want to talk about Josh Ford, or do we want to talk about the other players and the different conversation that kind of emerged from the Hank Crisp indoor facility yesterday?
Let's start with Josh Ford because there's some good stuff about Alabama football. Nothing not to love there.
If you haven't gotten a chance to watch Josh Ford on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, I would highly, highly, highly encourage you to do that, even to a point of putting our show on pause and checking it out, because he was awesome yesterday. And because he was awesome, Theo, there's a chance we never hear from him again. Let's just be honest about that. He was forthright. He felt authentic to me. If he wasn't authentic, then he is a masterclass in personality projection. But he was authentic. He was funny. He was laid back. He wasn't look, the media sessions are not supposed to be serious. I mean, they've got an air of serious to them because we're asking them questions and you're on the record. But we're trying to have fun, and Josh Ford had a lot of fun with us yesterday, talking about why he transferred, basically saying that out of high school he had no offers. It was Oklahoma State or nothing. He's from Stillwater, and so it was Oklahoma State or nothing. And as soon as Mike Gundy was fired, he said, I was loyal to Gundy, so he got fired, and I thought I wanted to explore my options. And he said, I had a lot of options in the portal. A lot of now remember, this young man went into the portal mid-season last year because Gundy got fired week 3, 4, somewhere in that early portion of the season. So he was already in the portal basically in October, and so he was shopping around, doing the portal thing from October. And I think that this man is going to become a fan favorite simply because of his attitude and simply because of how he embraces physicality. I loved our time with Josh Ford yesterday, Theo.
No, I did too. And I was over with Michael Carroll, wanting to go land the O-line, which we'll talk about Michael Carroll in a minute, but I was just very Indiana Bears. Love to see it.
We love you, Rudy. Thank you.
I had a smile on my face basically the whole time I was watching Josh Ford's media availability.
Yes.
It was great. It was incredibly well done. It's one of the best we've had, maybe the best we've had all of fall camp. Incredible stuff. I think that Josh Ford it's a lazy comparison. We'll follow the Robbie Utes track. It is a lazy comparison, but it's the best that I have right now off the top of my head without using too much brain power at this time. And it's easy to understand, right? Robbie Oots was a player that Alabama needed last year. Point blank. I think that the difference you would have had with a guy like that, it's not like you would have had the best run game of all time, right? You would have been ever so slightly, just a little less dysfunctional. And if you're a little less dysfunctional there in the run, what does that do for the pass game? We've repeated that talking point so many times this offseason, but it's true. I mean, just a little bit sometimes is all it could take. Is all it could take. Like that one, 2nd and 9, right? That 1 yard rush, or what would have been a 1 yard rush where Josh Ford comes in, blows a guy up, and turns into a 5 yard gain. And then that drive starts with a 2nd and 5 instead of a second. Like that.
Even 2nd and 7.
That could be the difference in a scoring drive and a 3 and out.
Yes.
You guys know how much difference incremental changes can make. Josh Ford's going to be one of the most impactful players on this Alabama offense this year.
100%.
He's going to be a fan favorite. He's serious. Nobody in the world is going to have a bad thing to say about Josh Ford. You guys are going to love this guy. And I think he will one day end up, playing fullback or some variation at the next level. He's got everything. He has everything he needs to do it.
Josh Ford yesterday spending some time in the Hank Crisp indoor facility, and I completely agree with you that if you just are a little better, I mean, look, we can be honest with ourselves, right, Theo? We can be honest here. Alabama asked Josh Cuevas to do too much last season.
Yes.
I mean, I have no bad things to say about Josh Cuevas, the person, or even the player. I mean, I don't really think that he was superstar, but he was a good player, and especially considering where he came from, Cal Poly to Washington all the way to Alabama. So, like, his trajectory, he's maximizing himself. Great job, Josh. But in terms of what Alabama needed last season, they really needed him to be two different players. They needed him to be Josh Cuevas, the receiver, and Josh Cuevas, the inline blocker. And don't really think the inline blocker piece was where he excelled. A lot of people praised him last season because of his willingness to embrace that piece of his game, but I don't think that was his strength. And then when you combine it with all the freshmen that you were having to throw out there at tight end as well, you were pretty lacking in the run department, in the run game, run blocking department with the tight ends. I think Josh Ford is going to just really, really, really ramp things up because, look, you didn't have the hammer that can go through the hole. You're running duo wrap. You're running inside. You're running some form of inside zone. Where the tight end's leading through. You didn't have a hammer. I think Josh Ford is going to run through these holes with reckless abandon and say, "Follow me, buddy." Whichever running back it is, follow me, and here we go. I'm excited for the lines that really to me were I just love to hit people, and then all the commentary about his wedding and about really moving to Tuscaloosa, how appreciative he is. I did not realize this, Theo. He said that Tuscaloosa is about 4 or 5 times the size of Stillwater.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
What? And this is not a big city. Notice I love Tuscaloosa. It's not a big city. And then he would talk about how going back to, I only had one offer at Oklahoma State. And now when I got to the portal, it was just all kinds of offers. And then it became, of course, why not Alabama? When I'm thinking about all the options, why not Alabama? And then all the play style really lined up and what they needed. And he spoke about his wedding. He said, I hope to get married in jeans. I am in wedding season. I don't think my fiance is going to go for me wearing jeans at the wedding. He just seems like he's down to earth. He don't care about nothing but football and just being a good old boy.
Yeah, I'm very excited to watch this happen. I've heard Stillwater. If anyone's been to both Stillwater and Starkville, let me know. I've heard those two cities are very similar culturally. Interesting, I guess, point of comparison. I'm so high on this tight end room, and my social media video for today was actually on tight end.
Ooh, let me retweet you.
Just got published minutes ago.
Theo Fernandez _.
Theo Fernandez or Theo Fernandez Media on Instagram or TikTok. I really don't like TikTok, guys. I never even scroll. I haven't scrolled on a single video. I don't follow anyone. The videos get some traction, though. Theo Fernandez Media, though. Follow along. And I was thinking about basically exactly what you said with Josh Cuevas, right? What if Josh Cuevas had just been allowed to go do the things that he excelled at? To my point, how much better is Marshall Pritchett as a purely, just go out there and get us some yards. Go out there and get us 3 to 5 receptions a game in the moments where we need you. And yeah, obviously you can't be dysfunctional in the blocking game, right? Obviously you have a job to do. But when we really, we can A, just throw Josh Ford in on certain sets. B, we can run 12 personnel, which I think this team will do. I don't know quite. Do you have a pulse, Joe, on how often that'll happen?
How often we're
running heavy sets?
Oh, you talking about more than 13 personnel?
No, let's say
12 or more?
Yeah.
I think you'll be in 12 a lot. I think you'll be in 12 a lot, like at least half.
Yeah, no, I'm about the same, right? And I just think that Josh Ford takes so much pressure.
You were in 12 at least half last year, and your tight end room got better. Go ahead.
Yes, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if you'll see 13 all that much, but the possibilities exist. The more tight ends out there, the better.
Yeah, look, you throw Ryan out there. Put Daniel in the backfield, and then let the rest of it be tight ends. Oh, don't get me too excited with Coach DeBoer.
I really want to see a fullback carrier too from Josh Ford too. I do. But I think that Caleb Edwards' life and Marshall Pritchett's life especially gets so much easier by the presence of Josh Ford out there. And I was also thinking about Edwards, right? And you gave the George Kittle comparison a few days ago in the sense of George Kittle has always been due to 140 yards, 2 touchdowns one week, and then, 16 yards the next. It's very week to week. I pity the first team that does not properly prepare for Caleb Edwards, that underestimates what he can provide in this passing game. I think Caleb Edwards will have a lot of games where he just doesn't have the biggest impact on the box score. But I also think that he is due I think he'll lead Alabama in receiving yards at least once this season in a game. I do.
I think you might. I don't think that's too crazy. Rudy says, I heard you. Southern boys love a tight end. And we do. We want 13 personnel this season a lot.
Rudy, Big Ten territory, Iowa, right? That's tight end capital of the world right there. It's not a Southern thing. Everyone loves a good tight end.
That's exactly right. Let's address this comment. Appreciate you watching RTR 7291. He's always been a faithful viewer and commenter. I can see Danny Lewis having a good season if he stays healthy. What do we think about Danny Lewis? Because, and I ask this because every time he gets brought up right now in fall camp, it's such a great story. Such a great story. Worked so hard. Rehabbed. Inspired. Blah, blah, blah. And you said this the other day, about a week ago, and it clicked with me. Yes, it's the exact same Jalen Hale discussion. It's the exact same Jalen Hale. We're just so proud of all the work he's done. And Jalen Hale got in 2 games last year and barely, I don't even think he got a reception, and now he's transferred out. And I wish him well. I absolutely wish him well. But is it just coach speak thanks, Danny, for your service? We appreciate you. You're going to get in a game or 2 and then go be an insurance salesman.
SMU were at for Jalen Hill.
Yes.
That's where he ended up. I remember Coach Grubb, I think it was on Tuesday, whenever we spoke to Coach Grubb, when talking about the tight ends, had a throwaway comment on Danny's been limited.
Yes.
Man, when me and Joe played, we played buy, sell, hold last week on the offense. And I said, if you want someone to buy low on Danny Lewis Jr. You might. It's an emotional investment, right? There's a good shot you don't get any return on it. But it was just such a cool story. If he does anything, if he gives you anything this year, we're all in on it. But I unfortunately am in the camp of he probably won't give you anything this year. Like I think Jay Lindsey will end up higher than him. I think, Josh Ford obviously will end up higher than him. I don't see it coming together this year, which is unfortunate.
Ooh, I love this comparison. If he can have a Miller Forrestall season, that would be a huge success. You're exactly right. If he can give you what Miller gave you, which wasn't like best player on the offense type thing, but just ancillary piece for Danny Lewis and for everything that he has endured and gone through, yes, that would be a massive success for him to put up a season like that.
Yeah, anything you get from this guy, you're happy with.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
For sure. All right, let's stay in the Hank Chris indoor facility.
It's a different conversation.
Yeah. Look, so if you haven't been paying attention to football over this week, it's okay. But studies have been released over the last 3-4 days, 5 days about CTE, about concussions, about head injuries, whatever. I don't really want to debate the merits of that or the non-merits of that. That's not really the point here. What happened was, one, Drewski put out a hilarious skit that I felt like a terrible human being for watching and laughing at. If you haven't seen Drewski's new skit, if you don't know who Drewski is, he's a comedian who does social media and very popular and very big-time satirical person, always poking fun at people and usually being borderline offensive. And so his skit yesterday, day before, is surely taking advantage of the news cycle that is talking about CTE. And his skit was basically, he acted like, when running backs lose their mind for concussions. And he was doing all of the tropes, every single trope that you can think of for unhinged football player. He was doing it. And I was sitting there dying laughing. But in the middle of it, I thought, oh, Joe, you should not be laughing at this. This is horrible. Because that's actually people's lives. It has happened to people. You've seen the Ray Rice video. You know what's happened with. You know what's going on with lots of running backs in the past. Running backs, receivers. I mean, goodness gracious, just go to at AB84 or whatever and scroll Twitter and you'll see the effects. I felt horrible laughing at it, but it was a funny skit. But these Alabama football players were asked about health, asked about their mental health, asked about their brain health yesterday because of all these. It wasn't straight out of left field. You've had these studies come out and basically – one of our colleagues, AL.com, Michael Casagrande, went out and basically said, hey, these studies have come out. Studies.
And just to set the stage, the actual study that came out this week,
thank you,
boils down to at least 1 in 4 former NFL players who died from 2016 through 2021 had CTE. I mean, that is that's significant.
Yeah, it is.
That's heavy.
Go ahead. Keep going.
No, I just wanted to set the stage.
Perfect. Okay, so 1 in 4, and that is a huge number, to be honest with you. And I did not play high-level football. I played football for multiple years. I don't think this impacts me, but maybe it does. But you just see people like buddies who went on to play higher-level football, and you think, oh, I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. And when we go into these facilities, you see the human behind the helmet, under the helmet. And I hope they're okay. But all of them, to a man. Essentially, Red Morgan. So we talked to Red Morgan. We talked to Josh Ford. We talked to Michael Carroll. And we talked to Devin Tompkins. Right. So we talked to 4 players yesterday, 2 on each side of the ball. And Red Morgan essentially just brushed it right off. I don't think about it. It's okay. I don't really think about it. He said, what was his line? We know what we signed up for.
Yeah.
We know what we signed up for when we signed up to play at Alabama. And so he brushed it right off. Michael Carroll and Josh Ford both went, no, I don't really think about it. We have the best trainers. We have the best staff. The medical team at Alabama takes care of us at such a high level that I don't really even think about it. They're monitoring us. If anybody's got any little issues, they get monitored, they get addressed. And he said, we're in good hands at Alabama. What did Devin Tompkins say?
I don't think he was asked.
Okay, yeah.
He was the only one they didn't get to.
Oh, what do you make of all this stuff, Theo? What do you make of the CTE stuff, and what do you make of it going into the Hank Chris indoor facility? Because that's really why it's being brought to this show right now. I don't, wouldn't just bring in a Drewski skit or some study without it being relevant.
Look, every football player at this point understands the risk. There was a time where you could claim like ignorance. No, it's something that, I mean, I remember when that concussion movie first came out, right? Which was 2015. And I was 10 years old and really at the stage in my life when I was just getting into football. And I bring this up because I'm the same age, roughly, as the college football players right now. So it is something that has been at the front of the limelight for everybody. Everybody knew the risk. Everybody knew what they, like Red Morgan said, signed up for. And before that, like as Wendell says in the comments, like everyone knew before that, but that football is a contact sport. But really, you think about just everything that's changed and everything that's been done over the past 10 years, especially at younger levels of football, to A, inform people of the risks, and B, help make people safer. You're never going to solve concussions. You're never going to solve CTE. It's never not going to be a part of football. The kickoff rules, guardian caps, I think it's all great. I think we should. Kickoff rules are debatable on if they're great. But I think the idea that we're doing things to make players safer are great. But everyone, I think you just have a level of understanding in that room is what I saw, right?
You brought up kickoff. Did you hear Josh Ford's comment on kickoff?
No, I did not.
Oh, it was beautiful. And right in line with this, we're ready. Kickoff return, man. I'm on that wedge, ready to bring the boom. I was like, awesome. Yeah, you're ready to hurt some. You're ready to lay it all out on the line for yourself. Yeah, I think you laid it out there just fine. And I thought the Alabama handled the question well. And so, I mean, I didn't think it was out of left field, but I didn't really know what you would expect to actually say, right? Would you expect them to say, yeah, I'm terrified of it. I don't like playing this game. No, they know the risks, and they know what is at stake here.
I think it's always really interesting, though, hearing these responses from football players, just anybody. And like I'll use the example of Kyle Hamilton, who I've always thought has been a very interesting person. He has been one of the dozens of players who we've heard go out and say, like, yeah, I don't know if I'd want my kids playing this sport, right? And that's always a really telling soundbite for me.
If I am blessed to have children, they're getting a golf club put in their hand.
Look, there are no NFL genes in my family. maybe if the chips fall right, there could be D3 genes in my family.
Well, your prospective spouse is going to bring all of it, right?
Too.
Right.
But operating under the assumption that my spouse is not like a D1 athlete, there's no reason that I'm going to let my kids play tackle football. Like, I'm point blank on that. It's just, I just don't think it's worth it at the, unless you're going to reach the level that these Alabama players are. And then even then, it's a discussion, right? Even if, because the further you go, the more likely you are for stuff. And I think that I will never complain about CT being in the limelight. I think it is one of the most important things that we can talk about. I think, like Joe, we can sit around and we can talk about a roster and we can talk about how's Alabama's season going to be, etc. How are Alabama's players going to be?
Right. This is their real life.
Safety of these guys. What are their lives going to look like?
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now, Theo. Was when these men are 40 and 50 and 60, the worst story that we have to write is not Alabama lost, is not player transfers out of the program. That just happens. Whatever. That doesn't even faze me. I get people that will text me when Alabama loses. Are you okay, Joe? I'm like, it doesn't matter. The worst stories that we have to write are former player arrest, former player death, former player makes bad decision stories. Now that's just going to happen anyways. That's part of life. But any way that we can bring awareness and maybe mitigate some of those things, I am all for.
And these players have the utmost confidence in Alabama. I have no reason to, like, I think the University of Alabama is doing great things to protect these guys. And I think that we are going to have less and less and less of those stories. And I think that the game is going to continue to get safer, and you're going to continue to do things to keep guys safer longer term. And I think we're trending in the right direction. And I'm right with you, Joe.
All right, Theo. I have one more thing from the press stuff yesterday, and I gotta put you on blast. I gotta ask you. I gotta put you under the microscope.
Boy.
What the heck? What are we now? Theo did not ask this question. Let's make that very, very, very clear. Theo Fernandez tweeted yesterday. You can find it at Theo Fernandez _, that Red Morgan did not know who Dolly Parton was. Red Morgan was asked by a colleague if the team had any reaction to Dolly Parton's passing. And Red Morgan, being 20 years old from Central Phoenix City, Alabama, sheepishly smiled and said, well, no disrespect, but I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. And Theo, you went viral for tweeting it out yesterday, which, okay, it was a eyebrow-raising moment. I'll say that. But Theo, what's the point there? I just wanted to get your perspective. Why are we tweeting out that? Because he's 20 years old.
Okay. I listened to that, and I thought that was hilarious.
Okay.
That was my first thought. That's all I could think about, because I think that, look, Dolly Parton is somebody who, obviously, like, great life, legend. And I just thought it was, with how much she was, been talked about, and you've seen all these great tributes and stuff to her, I just thought it was a very, very funny answer. And I didn't want it to be taken any other way than just a humorous. I think we've had some absurd reactions in my comments to how do you not know this guy? Like, what is wrong with, like, it's just, what are we doing, guys? He doesn't know the guy. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a very good example of, like, it's a very good example of, like, how, while we think the internet is so broad, while we think everybody is reading the articles I'm reading, like, you're not. The internet is the algorithms are very, like, when Dolly Parton passed, my flood just flood everything. Dolly Parton. And it's just a very good lesson that your internet algorithm is only really just for you. And while, of course, her passing was transcendent across a lot of timelines everywhere, I was not, when this question got asked, I thought, these fellas do not do not care about an 80-year-old country singer who's passed away in the middle of fall camp while they're getting ready for their last week. They're getting ready to move out of their dorm, and start their semesters. I just thought it was funny.
I have to say, I mean, no, like, disrespect or anything to the person who asked the question. Why didn't you walk over and ask it to Josh Ford? I mean, that's the guy to ask about Dolly Parton.
He probably would have given a great answer.
Yeah.
Josh Ford was talking yesterday about how he cannot wait to actually get married so that he can start regrowing his mullet and facial hair. He said, I'm going full facial hair, full mullet. So we'll see. We'll see what he looks like after that. That'd be great. All right, Theo, I think that is about all that I have for the day. You see Ty Simpson, nice little touchdown pass last night. Jeremy Bernard, touchdown reception last night as well for the Steelers. So those young men performing pretty well in the NFL preseason. I'm going to watch Titans Bears tomorrow up in Nashville. Rudy, you're out of pocket with that one, buddy. That was funny. But they have you can see that comment in the YouTube chat section right there. What are we going to talk about next week? Because we've exhausted every offseason. How many yards will this player have? Who's going to be leading the team in that? We've exhausted all those conversations. So we started to ask Red Morgan yesterday, and like I was going to ask him about Mitch Griffiths. That was my next question. But Colin Gay, I believe it's Colin Gay. So I think it was Colin Gay. It might have been Mike Rodak. Asked him, what have you seen in East Carolina so far? And he essentially said, well, we haven't really watched a lot of film on them so far. And that makes perfect sense. We're doing fall camp stuff. We're doing install. Film's going to hit the players' tablets today, I would imagine. And so I get that. So I didn't ask him about Mitch Griffiths. What are we going to be focusing on next week? Is it all about Keelan Russell's first start? Is it still going to be about offensive line continuity? Is it going to be about stopping a dual threat quarterback, playing two different quarterbacks. Is that going to be on the menu for the defensive players? Have you studied both ECU quarterbacks? What are going to be the storylines that carry us next week?
Well, I'm going to ask about left guard until I get an answer on left guard, first of all. I was with Michael, and you talk about having exhausted every offseason topic. I felt like I'd written the article I wrote yesterday 4 times this fall camp.
Yes.
Because it was Michael Carroll. Why did he switch to guard? Like, what were those conversations like? Which, okay, we got something there. And then, what are you looking forward to this season? I'm writing a piece for later this week about the communication between Keelan and the O-line. And I actually got some good stuff out of that. But it was just, there's almost nothing we haven't talked about. And when it came to the one question that really could have given us some new stuff, okay, where do we stand with Will and Mal Waldrop? It was just, I'm just excited to play with whoever the coach has decided the best, which you're not going to get any other answer out of the line. Michael Carroll is exceptionally media trained. Like I'd imagine he's like the number one student in like their media training classes. I want to find out who the guy's going to be. And I would imagine that we're probably going to find out from Coach Grubb on Tuesday.
I think they'll all be on Monday. I believe it'll be Coach DeBoer first, and then the two coordinators, or vice versa. Two coordinators, then Coach DeBoer, and then Tuesday will be players. Wednesday we'll have I believe we'll have the SEC coaches teleconference call per usual, and then he'll be doing a radio show on Wednesday night.
Yeah, so left guard is an easy one right now. I don't know what else there is at this point. It just really feels like we've ran through everything.
Yeah, that's about where I am as well. And so
I'm really glad there's a game coming up.
I mean, yes, amen to that. Because at this point, there's only so many. Well, who do you see contributing in the secondary outside of the starters that we can do? I mean, we've talked about Ivan Taylor, Drake Kirkpatrick. Like at this point, you just want to get everybody through next week healthy and get on the field.
Yeah.
Just a note on the health. Coach DeBoer was on this morning with Mac and Cube in Birmingham, Cole Kubelik and Greg McElroy in Birmingham, and essentially said that the only injury that they have, obviously outside of Jeremiah Beeman, the only injury that they have right now that is longer than 3 to 4 weeks sounds like it's Jordan Edmonds. So the cornerback is going to miss a little bit more time, but very positive news on AKD, or very positive on EJ Crowell as well. Excuse me, with the injury news right there. Theo, you want to pick some? You want to look at this game? So look at the games tomorrow, make some picks, and get on out of here.
Let's do it.
Oh, great! Well, it is week 0, and let me switch my tab from FCS to FBS, and here we go. I have FBS. 11 a.m. North Carolina and TCU. TCU not going to have anybody to report on the team. North Carolina not going to have a defensive coordinator. They're in Ireland. What in the world is going to happen? 8.5-point favorites for the Horned Frogs, and I'm just going to ride with TCU. I don't believe in Bill Belichick, the college coach. Period.
I feel tempted on this.
Do it because there's no stakes.
He's a legend for a reason, man. Bill Belichick. Everyone's written him off. He's not writing back. I think he's gonna surprise some people this year. Give me UNC. Start out 1-0.
Oh man, that calls for it, right?
Belichick, oh how I miss you.
This is one of my favorite sounds.
I just want to kiss you. They just got rid of you. Oh, Bill Belichick.
Speaking of CT, I'm sorry. Okay, keep on going. At 2:00, San Jose State, USC. Should be a big old USC blowout, 38-point favorite. You want to go on to North Carolina and Virginia at 2:30. Virginia, a 4-point favorite, despite the injury report that we talked about yesterday. Give me NC State. Give me the Wolfpack.
Yeah, I'm with you on NC State. Is it what's the QB's name? Bailey. What's the first name? Do you know?
Is it? No, I don't know anything about these two teams, to be honest with you.
CJ Bailey, yes, CJ Bailey.
Perfect.
Is supposedly a very, very fun quarterback. I've been told that he is going to flirt with being must-watch TV this year. So I'm
Okay.
excited to actually get an eye on him this week.
C.J. Bailey. At 6 o'clock, you can watch the CW and see Alabama's week number 3 opponent as New Mexico State takes on Florida State. Florida State, huge 31.5-point favorites. The last big game of the night, well, big in quotation marks, the last game that looks like it's going to be somewhat close is going to be at 9 o'clock on Fox. Memphis is taking on UNLV. You can see UNLV is a 4.5-point favorite. I'm going to take the running Rebs because I think that they have brought in pretty good talent in the transfer portal, and so we're rolling with UNLV.
You see that Aaron Noland lost the Memphis job? Man, what happened there? What happened? How are we losing a Memphis job? It's unfortunate. I will go with Coach Mullen and UNLV as well. I think you did us a disservice by skipping over one of the games.
Okay, which one do you want to talk about?
We've got some local guys. Jack State against the biggest FCS powerhouse in NDSU. Like, that to me is one of the most interesting. First of all, I thought that Jacksonville State team was really fun last year. Kid from, the high school next to me is a receiver there, broadcast this game in high school, so I like following that. And I think they're just a really well put together program right now. They made the jump very successfully a few years ago, and I think it's very fitting that North Dakota State gets to play that kind of program in their first game. I'm excited to see how the transition goes. I'm excited to see that game, and I think that Jack State will come out on top.
All right, so we will watch the Gamecocks, see if they can take down the Bison tomorrow. Tomorrow. Wow. It's here, Theo. So
if you can only watch one game here, which one do you choose?
Well, I think that I'm just going to go with the first one, North Carolina CCU, just because of the Ireland factor. I have no real interest in watching Florida State yet. Yeah, I'm going to go North Carolina because look, the drama for both those programs right now is really high. Obviously, TCU stepping in a humongous PR blunder, and then no one even really knows what's going on at North Carolina. Is his little girlfriend going to be calling the plays? I mean, I'm sure she is. She's going to be sitting over there with her Madden tablet, just selecting. She's going to be under Ask Madden what play to run, and then Bill's just going to run it. So we'll see what happens right there. We appreciate everybody watching us today. Rudy the Boxer taking us on in the comments section. He's going to go with the North Dakota State Bison. He left a pretty nice, funny, crazy conspiracy theory in the YouTube channel comments. So if you want to see that, you can check it out at Joe Gaither 6. We appreciate you hanging out with us today, Rudy, and Wendell Hare as well. RTR 7291 also checking us out. We had lots of fun with everybody in the comments. You can leave us a voicemail at 205-462-7340 extension 800. We will play it on Monday, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be a big weekend. I'll be in Nashville watching Bears Titans, watching my man Tyson Bagent lead his victory. Actually, I don't know if he's going to be healthy. If it's not Bagent, it's going to be Case Keenum and Miller Moss. Let's do it.
Case Keenum is still playing.
The Bears have the best quarterback room, top to bottom, in the NFL with Caleb Williams, Tyson Bagent, and Case Keenum. No one in the NFL has an emergency third quarterback as good as Case Keenum. Period.
Pro Bowl quarterback Case Keenum. Hey, man, he was so fun that year.
Oh, can't wait to watch him this weekend. Love it. Love it. It's going to be so much fun. So you can hit us up at Joe Gaither 6, at Theo Fernandez _, at BamaCentral. It's going to be a big weekend. It's the last weekend without Alabama football. So go ask your wives, go ask your significant other what you can do around the house to make sure that the fall goes well. Hit up your honey-do list, get everything done so that you can watch football all fall long. We will talk to you on Monday right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com.